Director Marty, I just wanted to let you know that your mic is on. Drive safe.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay.
I got the rain to kind of slow down.
I know, right? Make it heavy.
Rain heavy.
And it's still fire.
Every fire that loves rain.
Doesn't stop fire, but it does.
True, true.
I think it's match fire. We got back up. Oh. Yeah.
My grandpa, no, we can.
I know.
What's the school like?
Yeah. Oh, maybe like. Yeah, it was yeah, it was the first graduating class.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah, so yeah, that's. Oh, so you're working. Yeah, it's possible. You do look at the director.
So we working on that. I'll send you running things. Oh, yes, we're just like, on the other side. Oh, I guess.
And then Jonas is, he moved away there.
You don't want to be down, I mean, yeah, there's.
Oh, like where the friend is. Oh, yeah.
See, I just didn't.
That's like a little,
No, I just started as a part of that. I heard when I see it again.
That's who that's.
But yeah, trying to do it for me. Oh, yeah, yeah.
and then Friday we have. So for the last fall. We're just saying.
So when I heard for one fire, I totally forgot, I haven't got the other, because we're supposed to. Yeah, we're supposed to get rain in water too.
So.
Right, so. High, so we'll see. I'll see you when it's on.
Mark, you know, your,
Yeah, so I'm gonna send you an email.
My selection.
Oh, okay.
So and then I guess during the original.
Yeah, well, you're.
Okay, guys, we'll go ahead and, get started. I know we're a few minutes past, but we got a couple of ours, online as well as, in person, so, first we'll go ahead and, call the meeting to order here at, August. It's at 4:08, here at, Agriculture Building Room 104. And, Director Martha, can I ask you to get a roll call?
Sure. Chairperson Michael Egan. I believe Chair, he's sick, so don't be excused. Vice Chair Glenn Kai,
Present.
Director Yvonne Manglonia Waneza,
Present online.
Director Martha Tenorio, present. Director Dr. Glandula.
Present.
And that would be it for the board members. We have a quorum. District Administrator Erica Alvarez, Conservation Planner Madeline Flores. Not here, not present. Project Director Jared D. Datwin, present. Program Support Specialist Daleen Pangilinan, present. Conservation Associate Johnny Bono.
Present.
UNG Technical Advisor Mark Acosta.
Present.
Research Technician Kenneth Uggin.
Present.
GIS Specialist Jonelle Sayama.
Present online.
Okay. Communication Specialist John Borja. No, the other one. Josh, is he up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Intern Haley, is it Heinrich?
She's not present.
And our other intern Eric Delphin. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Director, Martha. Moving forward to, we, go ahead and get an acceptance of the, motion to accept the meeting agenda, was that posted up on.
I move that we accept the agenda as presented on screen and before us.
Second. Okay, any objections, any changes? No objections, so moved. Can we get a motion to approve, the meeting minutes of January 21st, 2026? Should be very.
Going to accept the minutes.
I second that.
Okay, any objections, any edit changes? No objections, so moved. And moving on to number 4 of our, so it's welcoming remarks, guys. I wanna be able to just share from our chair. He's kind of came up with the flu, so he's currently not present, which I may be able to participate in the meeting today. And I know we got a bunch of new faces, which makes me feel a lot more safe with the guys I see over on the right, but so thank you guys, welcome to our solar water meeting. We also have some old faces, but we have some that kind of come and also sometimes we're busy and are back again. So welcome to our Southern Soil meeting. We have our Southern Soil District updates, and if I can ask our district administrator to share that with the team.
Okay, thank you. John is the working him. Vice Chair, if it's okay, we do a roundtable of all of the partners that are present here, just for the record.
Sure. Yeah, so if I know, yes, since we do have some, can we go ahead and go around the we'll go ahead and go, yeah, you guys. Yeah, you name, your name, department, where you're from. And I got some cases and stuff, but that's.
Okay, start on site. Captain St. Nicholas, I'm with the Northern District, coming out of the morning. GFD.
I am Chief Shonko. I'm with the Guam Fire Department. I'm a Deputy Fire Marshal for the Prevention Bureau.
Hi, good afternoon. Ronnie Chini, Assistant Fire Chief, Operations Bureau Chief. I actually kind of take care of what these guys are in the league, for both the northern and southern districts. Thank you for the invite, Erica.
And Frank Diego from the Southern District area, so this is my boss, that's why I'm here too.
Jeff Kitterla with your Department of Agriculture Division of Mike and Wildlife Resources.
Amber Powers with Department of Agriculture, Guam Department of Agriculture, and the Special Projects Coordinator out of the Director's Office.
Hey, this is Dario, I'm Department of Agriculture, Secretary with Chief. I'm also, Director of the Northern Soil and Water District.
Jerry Alessio, Guam Department of Ag and Invasive Species Coordinator for the SWCD.
Jay Gardella, I'm the district conservationist for the USDA NRCS Guam office.
Okay.
Everybody, and then we have a few online.
Oh, yes. Christian,
All Christian meetings has BSP, right?
Happy day, this is Christian Benitez with the Guam Coastal Management Program under the Bureau of Statistics and Plans.
and then Patrick.
His mic is off, but he's from GSL, the Guam Center.
Hey, welcome, Patrick. And then I think we got GSC up there, right?
Yes, GSC.
Yes, buenas and off a day, everyone. Guahusi Josh Laurenti. I'm one of the two co-executive directors here at GSC.
Thanks, welcome, guys. Thank you.
Margaret.
Off a day. My name is Margaret Aguilar. I'm a program coordinator, Guam EPA. Thank you.
Who's Ralph? Ralph? Do you know who Ralph is? How about, is that Tossie?
Happy day, everyone. This is Tassi Castro from Guam EPA Environmental Health Specialist with the EMAS Division, Permits and Watershed Program.
And then Northern Guam's note taker?
Oh, that's just your notes.
Oh, okay.
Savannah.
Savannah. The one, oh, that's, hi, Sav.
Hi, everyone. I'm Savannah Garcia with the Northern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District.
But we don't know who's Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph, are you there? Are you able to hear us? Okay, well, welcome.
I guess, is there anyone online that we do not recognize?
One person's incoming.
Oh, there she is.
Miss Hazel? That's go next to Hazel.
Hi, Hazel, welcome. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the district updates.
Okay, so just as we usually do during our partner meetings, we love to hear from you, and this is also an opportunity for our partners to hear from us and all of the great work that's happening down in the south. So Alpha Day again, everyone. My name is Erica Alvarez. I'm the administrator with the Southern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District, delivering our district report for this meeting. I'll provide a quick update since our last meeting and highlight some of the few things that we've been working on. So overall, our programs remain strong and are moving with great. Yes, it's just moving, and that's good. And we're continuing to build on our momentum across several areas, including our national engagement, our education initiatives, as well as our district program implementation. Next slide. So first, I want to share a quick update on some of our district programs that are currently underway. Our district membership continues to grow. So currently, we are at 103 active district members, and our members, of course, consist of the registered farmers and landowners and leases as well. But that's great. I don't know, we're striving to double that number at the end of the year. And I believe that we can make that happen, because I know there's more farmers out there. Also moving on to our feral swine program, there's no immediate updates since we last met, but our fencing program continues to develop and move through the design and contracting phase. And our program initiative, and where we are working with the mayors to build capacity for feral swine management and control, also continues to develop. So we are looking forward to rolling that initiative out full force by next month. And then in addition, we are still working with USDA APHIS on the federal side so that they can continue providing tracking assistance to our members. Beyond that, we were able to onboard our student interns, our first ever student interns with the district. Did I see Eric? Eric here? So of course they're students. They were around earlier with us, but you'll be seeing them more often, or especially as we start rolling out our outreach and education events. But primarily our efforts since January have been focused on our national representation and advocacy. So next slide. Last month, because it's already March, right? Time is flying. We were able to send a delegation from the Southern District to attend the NACD's 80th annual meeting that was held in San Antonio, Texas. So we had a strong presence during that conference, but we also had a lot of work that we had to do. But we are happy to report that we were able to introduce our resolutions. We posted 2 breakout sessions, and our vice chairman is also the vice chair of the Pacific Region meeting. Michael Uggan is also the executive representative for executive board member representative. And I'm missing something. We have also had we had some good news, but I want to go through the slides. So next slide. Yeah. Oh yeah. So first off, so our district, we introduced 2 resolutions at the national board focused on equitable feral swine funding. And essentially that's calling for USDA APHIS Wildlife Services to revisit how they distribute out funding to the different states and territories. And that resolution is really asking them to take a look at Guam, because Guam, we receive baseline funding. And obviously that baseline funding is not enough. And we're also trying to figure out how they've come up with that funding.
And primarily because we're a territory, so we fall in that category, not state.
Right, and we also don't have a robust pig production or pig, yeah, we're not producing pigs and selling it in the market.
Yeah, no slaughterhouse and so on and so forth, but if there was a presence of that, then we looked at differently.
And next is also just, we've introduced a resolution to strengthen the partnership between the soil water conservation districts and APHIS. So that way we can share resources such as staff, equipment to help strengthen the feral swine management program currently in place. So happy to report that was unanimously passed. Alabama actually motioned to support that. So did you want to add anything?
Yeah, well, I do want to highlight, I do want to say to Chad, I know normally Chad's here, but I wanted to be able to just give ups to him and working with our district administrator and kind of really putting that together. When I had to stand up there to defend it, it was quite nerve wracking, but at the end of the day, it was a unanimous from, everybody that was there. So I just like to say, thumbs up to him too. So getting you in there, we're trying to work together. Good job, team.
All right, next slide. So, as I mentioned, we also, presented two breakout sessions. The first one highlighted our three-pronged approach to advancing feral swine management. So myself, along with Jara, Datuan, the project director overseeing the fencing program, as well as Vice Chair Glenn Sakai, we spoke on our multi-pronged approach to addressing feral swine, and that includes the fencing, the federal and local trapping programs that we have, and as well as our education and outreach efforts. That was well received. In fact, a lot of people showed up to witness our breakout session, and then when we were done, they all left because, you know, but they really did enjoy it. Jared, did you want to add to anything?
There was an individual from San Antonio who approached me at our outreach booth after, and he was just really commending the holistic effort that, you know, we had. It wasn't just the fencing, it was like, how do we approach the issue of pushing out the grass swine? And that's where the trapping comes in. And, you know, he really appreciated that example from us, and he would like to look to us to replicate any future projects that he would like to start. It wasn't really like, he was ready to implement, but it was just like a general positive response. I thought that was nice that he actually came out to me to tell me that, and it was nice to just, to make sure that you guys heard it, positive response. Other than that, we learned a lot from the Texas case, because they also have a feral swine project happening in Texas. And we learned that we're having some issues, and also I connected with Callie after, so we're chatting now because of that meeting. So it's been good for networking. Other than that, that was pretty much, it was really simple.
Yeah, and so Callie, I know she came up with a approach her after, and so she's doing the project the same way, but it was nice for Guam to show that we had that three-pronged approach with it, which they didn't. Kind of like in the presentation I had, it was like, yeah, we know we're not solving the problem by putting a fence around someone's farm, we're actually pushing it to the neighbor, right? And so to be able to say that on Guam, that was just kind of like almost an insensitive way to say it, but we're just trying to highlight what we're doing and not just protect the farmer's field, but also at the same time try to trap and move it in such a way where we're not pushing the problem off to the side. So Callie was saying, well, that's a great idea as well, other than the individual approach here, was like, you know, showing that what we're doing is, you know, on another step further. So this was an awesome time. Great job, yeah.
And in addition to that, just to kind of close off three-pronged approach, right? Jared covered fencing, Vice Chair covered our trapping efforts, local and federal. And then the third prong is really the education and outreach piece, which we tied back to the two national resolutions that we proposed, so it's full circle. The second session highlighted our conservation stewardship blueprint, which really highlighted our efforts in promoting conservation through community engagement, outreach, and education. So that session really highlighted our signature events to include Guam Educators Conservation Summit, in which our lead coordinator, Johnny, is taking, we're hosting another summit this year. And then also daily on the stewardship week. So our director, Martha Tenorio, Daleen, and myself presented on the blueprint. So did you want to talk about any of the highlights with that session?
I thought it was, again, very well attended. The room was completely packed. And there was a very positive energy in the audience of people that were very attentive and excited along with us. So it was just a really fun breakout session to do, because it was all about just, you know, being proud of the programs that we did last year with the GEX and the Stewardship Week.
Okay, let me show her off now. The teacher came out of her The teacher came out of it. You did not, yeah.
But also, yeah,
Yes.
thank you to all the team members. It was, yeah, that was really fun to do. I'm ready to do another breakout session.
Day was like her, yeah, Day was her first time out.
Yep, I'm so
But
proud of her.
She was like, pro, I was like,
Yeah.
didn't skip a beat, and then you also had, Harry, so that was a fun one, we had a fun presentation. Johnny attended online, he showed his, by the way, poster here, I don't wanna steal the show, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna come up, but yeah, maybe just, I'm jumping ahead, sorry.
We'll be quiet.
Yeah, I'll post it.
So shout out to, yes, our day lead. She really did an awesome job. We just threw her in and said, put it together a breakout session. But when we looked out to the audience, everyone was smiling. We played some videos that had our island reggae feel, so everyone was vibing. It was good. And we might just redo that presentation again here somewhere locally. All right, so next slide. So there's a few other wins that we have. We just kept winning them.
I got tired of saying thank
It
you.
was getting to the point where like we were kind of a mall out. We're like, hey, that's enough.
Yeah, it was a big screen and they double big,
But yeah, I think in better news, Johnny, did you want to report on the NACD poster contest? Just our local efforts.
Okay, so where do we start? Last year in the fall, we don't really have fall, but from August to December, we ran the island-wide poster contest, which was to establish a representative for the National Association for Conservation Districts National Poster Contest. So our winner from the IPC was Shido Yamamoto. She's a 10th grader from Academy. And she went out there and she won second place in 10th to 12th grade category. Yeah, across the nation. So yeah, our one poster that we submitted got second place.
And to us, it was first place.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was, but I will say the first place one was amazing, but, you know, ours was a little tight to our island, so it was first place in ours.
Yeah.
Great job.
And the teacher was one of our cohort
Yes.
members of our inaugural educator summit.
Yeah.
Savannah shows not good.
Yes.
Doing some things.
Good job.
Okay, some other highlight, it was also announced as a surprise that the Southern District was awarded a Friends of NACD grant award. This is the first time we've received this type of award. We've applied many years, or years before. I think when we tried to look at EKID, yeah, we fell a little bit short, but we should try that again.
But we got it this year.
Yeah, so this award, it's a small award, but it focuses on restoring resilience. So we'll be doing some invasive species maintenance, or we'll be removing some invasive species, replanting native species along the Dan Green Belt, down south. So beyond the, I might call you that street. And back up. So we're really proud of that. So
You got you.
and then Guam, both the North and the South, they were recognized as a 100% whose member do contribute a bit of membership dues, but we receive that like quadruple fold when we get grants. So a lot of our grants we receive from the NACD, and because we're members, that really helps us out. So congratulations to both North and the South. And also, I also want to recognize Norma Castilian, who is the alternate voting member to Vice Chair for Guam. So while we were at our breakout session, she was holding it down on the big board meeting. So yeah, she did great for her first time. Okay, and next slide. All right.
There's a poster.
That's a winning poster.
Take a minute to and the theme was home is where the habitat is. So she did awesome and theme.
And I just want to add, thank you for the great collaboration with Northern Guam, Rosanna.
Yeah.
And Rosario, and you know, together with our own Johnny. That was really good. You two are a great team. And How many entries again altogether?
I believe for the IPC, we had about 129 across the island.
That's like triple what we had the first year where it was about 30 entries, 30 or 30, no more than 40, so. You really up the numbers of entries, and then because of that, there was a wider selection of artwork to choose from. And then that was the result, that was the one that represented Guam, which went on to win second place nationwide, which is a super big deal because there were hundreds of entries in that level. And for Guam to come in at second place.
High school division.
High school
That's
division.
his first place, right, guys, look at that.
Yeah. It's like, second place isn't too shabby.
That looks like my sketches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 I could do that in my imagination.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But the first place winner was like, I was like,
Oh, yeah, theirs was nice.
Yeah.
We have to show.
But
I
congratulations.
didn't get to be a judge on that one, so. But yeah.
All
Good
right,
job.
Moving on, sorry.
next slide.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so our busy time of the year is coming up, everyone, so we're probably gonna be knocking on your doors a lot, but if you could just take note of these dates, so Stewardship Week is happening April 26th to May 3rd. We have a few activities planned during the week. There will be a proclamation signing, as well as the annual local working group in which we'll hold during that week. And then, the second annual Guam Educators Conservation Summit happening April 20th through the 24th in partnership with UOGCIS. Be on the lookout, save the date for May 2nd. It's our annual gala, so you guys can, turn in your boots and put on your dancing shoes.
Yeah.
And we'll celebrate conservation all together. Okay. Next slide. And also, we'll save the date again for our Pacific Southwest Region meeting happening August 24th to the 28th. So this is a big one.
This is huge.
This is a historic milestone for Guam, for both the North and the Southern District. As we have been asked to host the NACD's region meeting for the first time ever. So we're bringing everyone to Guam and, you know, just it's difficult because we're so far away, but everybody that we've talked to back at the NACD is really excited and they're so supportive, especially because we go out
Every time.
to represent and advocate for the region, and so they're gonna give back to us. Save those dates, please, and time to attend. So Sito is Maasi. That is our report for now. And we look forward to continuing the great work, and we'll turn it over back to the vice chair for the.
Well, thank you, Erica. And, so, okay, we'll move into our next, on our agenda, which is our partner reports. And I know we typically try to go through our partner reports as, the attendance signed in. And on down, yes. So we have, our partner, Guam Fire Department.
Alright, so, again, so our collaboration here, really with the Department of Agriculture, Forestry Division. In response to wildland fires and trying to protect the property, the soil, of course. But this, project that we discussed in our last meeting, is really an initiative to, provide some education for both the public and our farmers, okay, and as far as our burning permit processes. Okay, so there is whenever anybody burns, there is a process that goes through the Guam Fire Department. You go to each station, and then you require a open burning permit. Okay, free of charge, right? The only requirement is the fire engine company will go to the address specified on the application and go through a checklist. Basically a site inspection to see if everything is met as far as the parameters, stipulations on the application. Once everything's met, the issuance is given right there in the spot. There's just based on what the resident or maybe the farmer's doing, it'll be case by case of the length of time for that burning permit, which can go through every month. Along with the burning permit, if we get caught illegally burning, we have a citation program. The citation program, this is in there.
On the shoulder, and I was like, oh.
You burn a lot?
I know.
So, we have a policy with, Superior Court, this is a traffic, TBB that, actually processes all the citations, right? And so generally, the citation book is basically what is issued to the police department. And so we use the same citation. Okay, so same processes, we utilize the International Fire Code with, any installations or anything related to open burning. Tells you the conditions of what and the types of burnings that he's allowed to. So, again, this is just a public education for us to come out and collaborate with, you folks to see if we can help our public. You know, it's a big, better educated. There's a lot of times we go out there to these fires, into a residential, and a lot of people are there program. Right, and so that's a good piece in our collaboration. Obviously, that will reduce and mitigate some of the runaways, backyard getaways, and especially in the remote areas.
So could I ask, I mean, does that include like the farmers that want to do that control burn on their block?
Yes. And so there was I believe, typically from just education that the Department of Agriculture or Forestry Division provides to the public. There's some idea that they just build a dam. But in general, you need to get the permit from the Guam Fire Department.
I see.
So, again, this is an education piece we can provide and continue collaboration as we go out to villages, and hopefully we can, provide some
So that
education.
information we can also put out to our registered farmers.
Yeah.
What's that? And let them be aware of that. So
Do you have like a social media flyer?
We don't, I think that's why we want to take on this initiative to ensure that somehow we announce it or publicize it.
Yeah, we don't probably have a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, like you were talking about farmers, right, so like, just last season, there was a big field up there in the Lada area. And what the farmer there done was, they grubbed probably like, 2 acres of rock and pushed all the large, logs and tree stumps to the corner. So we're looking at 50 feet wide by 100 feet long of just trees. And what this farmer did was he burned it without the permit. And what eventually ended up happening is when it was dry season, winds were strong. We were getting spot fires downrange. So multiple fires, residents calling in. And what that does is it taps out our resources as far as fire engines. Right, so now, and then it's accessing the farms is not an easy task because, we're bringing bigger trucks that are not four-wheel drive capable. Or at times forestry division is not available, so, so those are like the concerns that we have to deal with.
And there's some decisions where it has to be made where, we have to prioritize what we need to protect. Right, and sometimes there'll be remote, where fires get to remote, deep areas. Or we just sometimes just let it burn. It's not a priority to certain things that we decide is priority. So, and then our resources may be limited. Fire goes out, it goes out to the jungle. The only requirement for us as far as accessing aerial drops is if there's a house on fire, there's a real threat to critical infrastructure or any residential areas. So very limited, and as far, especially we're talking about the farming areas, remote areas. Trying to contain it the best we can. And so that hopefully the education can just provide smarter ways for our farmers or our residents to burn safely.
When not to burn.
When not to.
I have a question. Is there a program or is part of the permit program where we can ask to do a controlled burn on government land?
So we've actually done that. Sometimes a fire truck, just based on what is being burned, fire truck has to be present. Just in case, maybe there's not enough buffer or areas, where there may be adjacent, exposures. So there will be at times that fire engine has to be present for that burn to happen.
Okay, so I could request, so this is a selfish question. I have government land behind my house and it's pretty much overgrown all the time. During dry season, every so often it catches on fire. And it's almost every year it catches on fire. So if I request, I guess Parks and Rec, then do a controlled burn on your land, so it stops burning when it gets overgrown. Do I go through you guys or do I go through Parks and
It'll
Rec?
be a combination,
Okay,
yeah. We can both be present to determine, you know, what parameters, how we're gonna game plan that burn.
okay. It's hard because we come by every so often and we just watch it burn down. And I watch it from my backyard, just waiting for it to jump over the fence.
You can't go out there and burn and go, man, make this fire.
Maybe it was me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do whatever we can to help the individual, the resident or the farm.
So the only thing with the permits, a lot of people that apply for them, they think that it's because they have the permit, it's good to build. But I tell a lot of applicants that, yeah, we give you permits, but once we get a complaint, the permits don't.
So just to protect you from the citation.
Right.
But
whenever there's a complaint, we come out.
Yeah.
And then, so the one thing, when we come out and do an inspection, we advise them how to properly burn it. How to avoid complaints, right? So we always tell them, try to burn it hot, dry, we don't want to smother it. Because smoke is what actually people complain on. So not so much the fire, the flame, because it's the smoke that the complaint comes from. So a lot of people have the misunderstanding just because they have a permit that they're good to go.
Now, is there like a specific plan to give them, like maybe like in one farm perimeter, so much to cut before?
That's why the inspection is.
Oh, exactly, inspection.
There's guidelines within the permit for you to comply with, right? It can only be so big and so far apart from whatever is around it.
Just burn inside of a donkey.
Thank you.
That's legal.
That's kind of preferable.
Maybe mow it down if you can, beforehand, something like that.
Having a good buffer.
Yeah.
It's just really about bottom line up front is burning smarter.
Yeah.
Right.
So the only thing, like you mentioned the funky, right? So you're actually, a lot of times people put stuff in there and it gets smothered in the funky. And all it does is it creates smoke, right? So I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the barbecue pit, the whippers, you ever see those chimneys where they put the charcoal?
Yeah.
A little has little holes in it. So
charcoal,
right? So imagine if you did that to a donkey, right?
Right.
And you put all the holes in it and you allow more air to go, oxygen. Right now that fire is burning hot, and you're not smothering it. And then when people burn, a lot of times they're usually yard work or farmers. They're trying to burn stuff that's still green. Or we're smothering the fire with grass, stuff like that. So we try to educate them on how to burn smart as well.
And then there's time constraint, like you can't burn after 6. Six to six.
But then people can see us.
You're afraid we're gonna come out and.
So that's what's big problem.
Any station, there's a station, any station.
Well, I think the biggest thing is also like your neighbors, generate a lot of smoke, right?
Yeah.
They'll report that there's a potential fire, so it's more of how do we actually, burn something that's not being,
That's why they call this thing, we get a call, we let dispatch or that person know that they are aware of it, we actually have a burning permit approved. And then they'll be, okay, we inspected it, they're good to go. And then are you just reporting because you're passing? Or are you reporting it because it's now got out of hands? And then there's, oh no, I just saw it, and they say, oh, yeah, they're good to go. So we don't always have to go out every time they call, because sometimes just from traffic, passing by. Yeah.
There'll be a lot of times, we don't know how the report comes in.
Yeah.
So, an MG would have to go on.
A lot of times they don't get along, so.
But whatever the reason,
We
right?
end up doing something we're not there for.
About it, neighbor wars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got truth. He's the one that calls that neighbor. Yes, look at the wind.
I disguised my voice.
Yes, I actually do have one more question. So oftentimes you do get calls for hornet nests. In which, and sometimes we're not capable of doing a fogger, treatment. So instead of doing the fogger or what you call fumigation, traditional fumigation treatment, sometimes we have to burn the nest. And so I just wanted to get some insight as to that.
That's usually done at night though, right? Because
We
you gotta
usually
wait
do it at night, correct, yeah. So,
So I think, you know, you just told the nearby station.
Yeah, and that's probably a good situation where you actually have a pumper on scene.
right,
So make sure you don't burn anything else.
you know, we've had you guys done before, so doing.
What type of method of burning?
Use torch, those big, those big gold torches, they can kind of. So, yeah. But it takes 10 minutes and you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, good collaboration with the near station. Should be available.
Perfect, thank you for that.
Is this to PSC?
Yeah, so. Yeah, we are. We're going to tap on you for our public service announcements during stewardship week, but we are very excited to partner with the Department of Ag and GFT putting together this workshop, which is.
That's if you can mark this date down. Be great, but it'll be a great PSA to have.
This I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys.
because the educator summit too, even within that, you're gonna need an educator from most of the school, or most of the southern schools.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff you guys are sharing,
I know, we're all like, wow.
Seriously. But I don't know.
We're after 6
I
o'clock.
think probably one thing too, that some people don't realize when they gather debris and stuff, right? They think it's just really wood and grass and stuff. But a lot of times we can tell by the color of the smoke. So sometimes they say, oh, we're just burning trees and grass. But in fact, if the smoke is black, then we know already there's trash or rubber or plastics.
You might want to neighbor that their smoke too is always black and.
Yeah. And just know and realize that those black smokes are very toxic. Very unhealthy for anyone really, right? So it'll behoove you to kind of call and have that be put out because that's unsafe for you or your family to breathe in, right? But the color of the smoke kind of says a lot for us.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks, guys, that's awesome.
Yeah, we look forward to further collaboration.
Not giving any tickets.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one right there.
First smarter.
Smart. Okay, thanks, guys, and we'll go ahead and moving on to, Department of Ag, Amber Powers.
Okay, we had several updates, since it's, farmers here, there was a press release that went out yesterday. That clarified the poultry import requirements. I know, acting Governor Josh Tenorio issued a directive to lift the poultry ban, but there are still laws and, administrative rules in place for importing poultry. So you do still have to apply for an entry permit and the poultry must come from their approved flock. And the requirements are on the press release. I sent it to Maddie to send out. So maybe we can share it on our WhatsApp for the group. And there's 3-day-old chicks and hatchlings. They need to be less than 72 hours old at the time of the shipments. They have to include a health certificate issued by a USDA accredited veterinarian stating the description that chicks or eggs, the flock has fluorine rating, the flock of origin has been free from symptoms or transmissible diseases for at least 60 days before shipment. The chicks have not been vaccinated with live virus vaccines. And then chickens and turkeys, which are older birds. Shipments must include health certificate issued by a USDA accredited veterinarian and approved by a state or federal veterinarian officer. Certificate must confirm that the flock of origin has been examined and found free
of ectoparasites and symptoms of transmissible disease. Each bird is identified with letter band numbers. Birds were vaccinated with the APHIS approved Newcastle disease vaccine 30 to 60 days before shipment with including documentation of that vaccine. Birds have not received any of the live virus vaccines within 60 days before the shipment, and then needs to have inspection upon arrival by the territorial veterinarian or authorized personnel. If the bird shows signs of disease or possible exposure, they may be refused entry or placed under quarantine for testing or observation. There's also, that comes to quarantine authority. There's also emergency disease restrictions can occur. If there's an outbreak in an area, there could be restrictions placed upon imports coming from locations experiencing the outbreaks. And then import foreign countries. The poultry imported from outside of the US must also obtain USDA APHIS import permit in addition to meeting Guam's requirements. And then if you have questions, you can contact quarantine@doag.guam.gov or 300-7966. Then we also gave Cincinnati a little visual about avian influenza, about your flock, what to expect, look for, if your flock could be sick with avian flu, so you want to prevent that. Better to check than not to. And then I do have updates. I know there was a request at the last meeting. The law enforcement will start farm inspections in April. And they'll start going on farm inspections in April. To patrol the farms for crop theft, stuff like that. Yeah, and so currently they're focusing on finishing their post-command, but they said they'll start in April. So that will be done, and then.
And probably, hopefully, I think Lieutenant Radio might be able to join these meetings on those. Folks.
Yeah, him or one of his COs. And then the Agricultural Development Services is looking for partners to assist with building supplies. Currently, they have the 10, it's for the food security nursery. They already have the 10 we salvaged from construction nearby. And then currently DPW will reconstruct the plant nursery. It's just gonna be wooden 10. While we're waiting, we're applying for a CDBG grant to rebuild the plant nursery bigger and better and stormproof. And with a classroom for community outreach and things like that. But during the meantime, just to keep it safe and keep our poor seedlings, when it keeps raining and they keep just getting waterlogged. So it's hard to keep plants going out to the public. With those situations. And then I know they asked for support with Southern Soil and Water District, possibly.
Yeah.
I think. And then the Forestry and Soil Resource Division updates is they have their DOAG Urban and Community Forestry UCF program that provides competitive sub-grants to NGOs, communities, government, etc. For urban forestry centric projects, for community driven projects, we're supported by the small grant opportunities. Those grants, the grant period is closed and the applications are now being evaluated. There's workshop dates for Firewise for farmers. It's scheduled April 1st, 2026 in the north and April 8th, 2026 in the south. There'll be more details to come. If you guys need to mark that again, Firewise for farmers is scheduled April 1st. Yeah. 2026 in the north and April 8th, 2026 in the south. Okay. Okay. And then currently they have 3 firefighters from the U.S. Wildland Fire Service on island for a 21-day mission to fight alongside DOAG, forestry, soil resource firefighters. So the fires out on the farmlands that aren't affecting buildings. And their type 6 wildland fire truck is on island and will be housed at DOAG. FSRD, and this is the second season they've come out to Guam to support the small team and we're truly celebrating the partnership. There'll be wildland fire safety refresher training tomorrow for forestry personnel and GFT, instructed by U.S. Wildland Forestry Service personnel.
And then also on April 2026, a full basic 32 will be offered to all fire departments. GFD, JRM, Navy, Anderson Airport, Forestry, and training provided by U.S. Wildland Forest personnel and USDA Forest staff.
That's our part of the partner.
Yeah, partners of party. Dates and details are to be determined on that, but it will be in April this year. And then, additionally, the director's office and ABS are looking for, support for busing for students to attend the Main Harvest Fest, which is also a Guam Sustainable Culture. It will be their awards for the, Junior Farmers of the Year, and also for the, hunting derby they're hiring, holding, the weekend before. So they're doing, like, they've been doing hunter courses with, somebody with a friend or a child. They've been doing courses, for months now. And, they're gonna have a derby.
I see. That May harvest, that's somewhere, that's not us actually to do the farmers of the year, farm of the year.
Right, and we're wanting to, I canvassed out, all the southern, public schools, and it looks like, we had 3 schools that had, gardening club or gardens already started. And so those are the schools that we wanted to bring those kids in particular, over to Guam Sustainable for the Main Harvest, so they can see, chefs creating food out of, creating dishes out of local food, would be, game care management, workshops for the students to see or build the board, how things come to them and they can see towards Brown's Farm, things like that. So we just wanted to encourage people to join in to be the next generation of farmers.
How many buses?
We're looking just for 2 buses, because we'll make one bus make 2 runs, because they're nearby, you know. It's in the south. So we'll have one bus make 2 runs, and then so it's 2 buses, that total is 1,120. And DPW already has their cutoff before that date, because we tried to go the cheaper route and use that.
Oh.
But they're not doing field trips, yeah, that's not. And that's.
And was there something about, supplies for the anniversary?
Yes, that was a request for the supplies for lumber and the building supplies for lumber and screws and tin, nails.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to put out that motion. I move to support, Department of Ag's request for the busing. For their May harvest, as well as, purchasing the supplies for the nursery garden repair. Dependent, of course, on, what the budget ends up being, because I'm gonna get the number, and then Erica will work with you.
Okay.
To see. How much money, yeah. But I definitely, make a motion that we do. Give you that money to get that.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll let it announce, I think I'm wearing another hat here, so I have to recuse myself from the. Yeah.
Do we have a motion to support?
Yeah, so we have a motion, we have a second.
I don't know, honestly, I would like to see what the budget looks like first before we commit to anything.
What is the number?
When did you get that number?
2,000.
I wanna say, for the busing, it's 1,120.
And everything, and the supplies. Is that money that we can, is there money that we have that we can appropriate?
Yes, we have money in our supplies category. Yeah, but it's.
Would you have an amount
Our conservation.
for the supplies of
I can amend you.
Yeah, I can look for it, all, I think 1%, I know we do have the balance.
Okay.
So on that motion, then we're gonna have to,
We can go back to.
Yeah.
The motion that needs to hold the.
yeah,
Just hold that motion in abeyance.
yeah, we don't have a second on that motion, so we'll go ahead and,
Well, if, I don't know, I'm not comfortable, but maybe, Yvonne wants the second in and. vote on it, that's fine.
Hey, Director Yvonne, are you on?
I second. I second.
Okay, so, with that, but, and also for the record, what we'll do is we'll have, those amounts that are, that will come in or with the second to be, appropriated in this, however you'll get those users.
Yes.
For what's needed. Okay, well, thank you, so that motion, yeah. Is there any other discussion?
I'm thinking it's not gonna cost more than.
Yeah, maybe we put a cap on 2,000 for busing and supplies. But we'll also, just as Dr. Dilla mentioned, we will first work with you Amber, just because we don't, there's a time constraint, I believe, and we are in a formal meeting. We will explore that now.
Okay, all right, we have the busing amount, the other one. I wanna say it's 3,600, but I will double check that. No, the busing is 1,000 or 6,900.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead, with that, we'll go ahead and, we'll approve for the amounts for the busing is there, and, after the amounts that come in, or what we get for the supplies, that will be on, but we did get a second for the motion based on that, in the discussion.
Okay.
Okay,
For the busing.
yeah, the busing is definitely.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay. Is there, that was it for?
That was it, I thought you had the number, sorry.
Okay, moving on to, Department of Ag, Department. Oh, so sorry, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, on that motion too, yeah. Those in favor? Any-
Aye.
Any nay?
I'll be honest with you guys, you know, I won't say no to busing kids to the May harvest, but, you know, Glenn, since you're now, you know, Deputy Director of Department of Agriculture, and this is coming out of the Department of Agriculture request. Yeah, I see it as a little bit of a conflict of interest for us, like an ethical problem. Also, definitely to bring kids to May harvest, but you know, now that you're a Department of Ag employee, I just want to, you know, voice my opinion on okay. You know, there's gonna be, you know, I guess decisions we need to make, and I guess think about it because there's gonna be a lot of crossover between Department of Ag requests and our work. And because you are our vice chair and also deputy director, you know, there's, you know, I don't know. Definitely a conflict of interest there. No, let's bring the kids in.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, I understand, that's why I did recuse myself from maybe, but the, part of the motions and everything, so. Okay. Now we can go ahead and move on to the Department of Ag, Division of Aquatics and Wildlife Resources, Jeff.
That's a big question. Just a couple announcements. We're still working on our habitat conservation plan for the entire Guam. Just during our development, we're just fine tuning some of the or addressing some of the comments that that was given to us by our grantor, which is Fish and Wildlife Conservation Fish and Wildlife Service. One of the things that we've been working on also to include into the habitat conservation plan, which is significant to this group, is and we're working with internally with ABS at NOAG to look at how farming activities in the next 30 years. So how do we assist them? How do we cater to them with the habitat conservation plan if they were to expand, and especially identifying the commercial farmers who needs more land to farm. So it's like, you know, trying to find a medium to where we're supporting them and not restricting them from are dismissing, the need of food security, so far. So that's what we're working on, with HCP now, amongst other things. And, we're almost to that point, to where what we're gonna propose. And that just deals with the fee schedules and basically just how do we make it not too expensive for residents or for farmers who are securing food for their livelihood. The other, what was mentioned, have been partnered with Guam Sustainability Culture. They're helping us out with promoting our hunting education program. We've done a enhanced hunting education, project, which was not only the mentorship. And basically the mentorship is pairing up experienced hunters with beginners. Some of them are, and not only beginner hunters as well as youth hunters, and trying to educate them on game species, safety practices, and so forth with sustainability. We've done this since January. The numbers has been really more than what we expected with the turnout. And there's been high demands with offering more courses. We were supposed to just do 3 courses with the 3 mentor hunts. I think we've expanded further because of the high demand of that. And the interest with the community that's being put out, or the bird being put out there. With that, we've done 2 gate cares with the 2 events mentor events that we had. So we're not only teaching them how to safely remove feral pigs, but it's also how to bring that meat, that resource back to the table and preparing that meat for consumption. So a lot of the new participants are really just amazed with just food that is not that's of great use. So we're hearing a lot of great things about that program. And it's gonna lead to an island-wide hunting derby. And we'll be putting announcements out of that, which leads to the Mark May Fest as well.
Cool. And I think we got one of our guys that's kind of partnered up with Guam Sustainable, so with the pig stuff, so making sure that there's always gonna be the pigs available.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and was that all you?
Yeah, that's.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to USDA NRCS, Jay Dornella.
I don't have much of updates, but from our last partner meeting where talked about our program sign up ending in January 15th. We were giving guidance not to rank them in the applications, but February that came in, they were able to kind of put together what we do the rankings and questions and everything. So now we're working on that. So just some internal deadlines. It's interested in district because you guys have 2 staff members in our office that are helping out with that. So we have our eligibility assessments and ranking cost estimates, CPA 52s and IRs. Deadline to complete is May 29th. And then on June 4th, they'll be selecting the applications for funding. And then hopefully by June 14th, if everything goes well, then start obligation. So right now, our field office, along with the partner staff, we're working on site visits for the new applications. Many of them were rolled over, so some of the site visits were already completed last year, but there may be some new resource concerns that are happening that the producers might want to address with the new sign up. So we may have to update their plans that we created earlier. So which is not too much work, but it's still, we got to do those to make sure we capture all of them. And then again, we're just going through our rankings and cost estimates. And then also we're looking at addressing some of our current contracts that are for contracts, equal contracts that are coming to the 10-year mark. because our program can only go as far as 10 years, so every time a producer is unable to install a practice according to their plan, then we can modify it to push it back, but we can only do it for 10 years. So once we reach that mark, we either have them install the practices or we can terminate them.
Do we have any in the south right now that might be on that number?
I'd have to get back to you.
Okay.
And then same with CSP, but I think we're on track with those because all the CSP contracts that we're reaching their 5-year expiration, they completed the CSP, but I still get back to you.
And then on that CSP with the same, or do you guys have that tenure with because the CSP you guys have now is like 5 years, right? And then if they hit another one, would that be another 5, right? Would that be
contract will be 5 years?
another 5? So after that 10, is that the same with the equipment now?
No, so CSP will be, the contract will be for 5 years, and when they finish that up,
If
they
it's
apply,
for another
just be another 5 years.
Okay, there's no cap on that.
No.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right, stop being our farmers.
And then, I'm just working on our, annual status reviews, that's again for all our active contracts. Kind of helps us, see where we're at, because we have, advanced payments for some of our contracts, so we want to monitor that because there's a timeline of them to take practices. But, that's all I have for our office.
So, thank you, Jay. All right, moving on to, I know we got both of you guys from Spring, and this, I wish you.
Yeah, you wanna?
Well, actually,
Okay, so I guess, the first thing is, we are working with outside of the council of Guam on a green waste management plan. And you indicated that this is, has been talked about for a long time. And so, first off, we wanted to wait until the Senator Yuhan and Senator Sukuna amended the composting bill. I was in contact with both of them at a meeting, and then, I wanted to follow up with the composting bill, but they said they're gonna have a vote on it, so with the amendments, the composting bill. So from now, from there, we are now I'm gonna schedule a meeting with Mayor Bumatata to start making a skeleton framework for the green waste management plan. And then he wants to recommend me to present this to the Mayor's Council of Guam, because he knows it's gonna be a strong support to make this plan. So after that, we also have, we just had a recent meeting with Senator Tonyana in regards to amending the Public Law 31-43, the Guam Invasive Species Council, but to focus more on a rapid response and rapid response funding from the law. So
add to that, it's more so to add a rapid response part to the law. And so we're trying to figure out how to be able to set that framework, because obviously with rapid response, it's kind of something that, we're not really too familiarized with on Guam, with invasive species. And so we're trying to see how we can put this in the actual law, but we do got support from Senator Tonyana to include a rapid response portion.
And also we have the Guam Invasive Species Advisory Council, so I think the priority matrix, which Dr. Lewis and also in the advisory council. However, I'm still working with the members to kind of get them approved first draft of the priority matrix before I send it out to the members to work on. And then we usually have our meetings like quarterly before the Guam Invasive Species Council, which is scheduled now, the third one, because we didn't have a quorum for the second one. So the third one is scheduled in the third week of May. I still have to verify with our director, Munya, With Director Munya, when her availability is, but Director Paredo is available that whole week. So I just have to contact Director Munya and figure out when is she free.
Do you need our support still for the,
We may need, because we are trying to prepare an owl as well.
oh,
And so, and then I is in talks with Chris to get a Zoom as well, so I can provide Zoom to the public as well. So,
we're always happy to support you.
yes.
Let us know what that is.
Yeah. And that's all the updates from our side.
Well, I got Chris, you're a double hat, so you have to be right, so you're gonna be reporting for the Northern.
Yeah, so for the Northern, it really, I guess the major update, for Northern, because I know, Southern is also, has reached out and has kind of taken on the, I don't mind poster contest, coordination, and meetings, and I know there was a request, working with, Rosanna, but, given the current situation with the North on our budgets, just looking at our budget right now, I know we had Youth and Conservation Stewardship Program, which is, I believe, the island wide poster contest. We didn't really have a natural value dollar in the budget, so I actually have to reevaluate what our budget does look like for the rest of the year before we can actually commit. But I know in the past, there has been some things worked out where we've kind of done like a reimbursement to the south, and that's something that we are open to entertaining. As this is also regards to the local working group as well. But yeah, we do want to try and contribute, but as far as giving a number value, we would hope to have a meeting first and then be able to see what does the event look like for both the island-wide poster contest and the local working group. I think we're looking to put that together in one event.
Yes.
And yeah, and so I'm sure that would save a lot of the cost, but yeah, we're definitely love to get into a meeting before we make something, so, yeah. Yeah, of course. I think that's it for on the north side. We did receive our funds for the perimeter fencing grant, so we just need to obviously meet our scope of work, ensuring that because that funding that we got, that's specifically for the producers. And so now we just need to be able to assess the producers of the north, so to be able to ensure that yeah, the funds are being distributed.
You just curious, just so you know, like, so you guys receive the funds for that from the program and the ACD?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, you mind asking, how long did that take you guys before you guys, how did you requested for it to be dropped in and we received it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we need to work with them.
So, yeah, I just know that we just.
It's like end dates, August.
Correct. Yeah, maybe it's August.
Well, we also got some,
Yeah, August.
it's good, we know, we're hearing from some of these guys out there that, you know, sometimes it's about like based on where they function.
Oh,
At the NBC meeting, so yeah, so shoots. That's good,
Yeah.
that we got that.
Just so you're aware is that there is a hard stop deadline September.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to push through section 106. It
Yeah.
would
Tonight.
raise current workload.
Yeah.
Definitely need to go, Jay.
Like how many farmers do you expect to do reviews for?
For work, it's actually, it was listed as 100.
I don't do that.
I know, so we need to, we're gonna be talking with, Tanisha or the coordinator of the grants to be able to, have an amendment to our scope of work. I mean, I think that is the next move, right?
Or you.
Or how do we, or how do we?
You don't have the manpower to even do the reviews, and like, you have 6 months to do the reviews, get the quotations, build the fences, and then certify them.
Right.
Well, we're at 2 years. We've had 2 years. We haven't even started building yet.
Yeah, yeah.
We're already looking at 20 farmers. Wow. How much are they making? You want me to ask?
176,000.
At our office, all the bathroom over at ABS has been doing the section 106 compliance. So he has all the contacts. And should be able to do it on how to get it done.
Yeah.
As fast as possible, but you're looking at a lot of manpower.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, but I think section 106 is to the standard of NFC, yes,
Yeah.
guidelines, so. Talk.
Yeah, that definitely could be, yeah, so that was like, I'm just curious to
Yeah,
know.
no problem. So just me out there, we did receive.
Well, good job,
For the
Matt. Yeah.
producers.
Good job. You
So,
can get something together,
yeah,
provided you can do that, input process.
for sure.
That's true. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think we have a day, but yeah, just that time, that's a day.
Well, if they get through to Jay's office, right?
Yeah. Just pay for your time.
Okay.
Pay for it.
It's subcontract, somebody else to be here.
You can pay me as a
We
person.
have to ensure that, yeah, that we're within those, what we budgeted for, right?
Did you have short hero?
But the 176 though is that's just for the producers, right? I mean, and this is where I need to ask if we can make an amendment to the scope of work to ensure
It's gonna be challenging.
Okay.
It's gonna be very challenging. I mean, at this point, it seems impossible, but
Okay.
if you wanna have a longer conversation.
Yeah.
Up to.
Well, just looking at, let's say, if they were able to get a producer to have any specs done and they get their, planning to use your office, Shay, how long do you foresee being able to get through that NEPA process and back? together? Maybe just say they had one design.
Yeah, so the problem is that we have one specialist for our biologist, and we have our cultural resource specialist. That's just them, and they're overseeing also the Hawaii, and we're in the middle of signups. So priority is our farm bill program. But I mean, if you could, you should talk to Jared and talk about like, what is, how long does it take to make a package for, cultural resource? And how long does it take to make one for, section 7, yeah, so.
Yeah, if I can
That was the part.
Or,
Right.
yes, it's, softwares.
Yeah.
So it's time to learn their, software.
Oh, you're gonna do this, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah. we keep our things too.
Yeah. Okay, something else, okay. I will.
Yes.
Thank you. Very good.
Okay.
Because ours is. No, I think even like the specifications, I think even just the fence itself needs to. Back and this is really something, so that's another.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to say that the partners that have already reported, they're not obligated to stay through the whole meeting if you have other things you have to attend to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, actually, that was our last partner, report.
Except for the one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry, I apologize, guys. I'm looking at what's down below. I didn't forget that you guys are up there, but we do have, and I couldn't tell the sign-ins, but I'll just go from what I see from left to right. With Christian Benitez from, BSP Coastal Management.
Yep. Yeah, first, thank you for the opportunity to provide some updates. Some of the work we're doing at GCMP and BSP that are pertinent to the conservation districts. So I'll start with an update on our Section 309 assessment and strategy. I know my colleague James Pangilinan may have mentioned in the last partners meeting that our approved focus for the next 5 years is addressing residential flooding. We're currently coordinating with village mayors to gather ground level data on specific flooding hotspots and community impacts. So this information will be used to develop the necessary policies and regulations to mitigate these drainage issues long term. So for our progress in southern Guam, we've reached out to all the mayors to schedule meetings with affected residents. So recently, James and Steve Durking met with the mayor of Inalahan, where they gathered some valuable feedback from some of the residents. So we're looking forward to continuing this outreach across the southern villages as well as the north as we continue to implement this Section 309 assessment and strategy. Thank you to the conservation districts and the partners for participating in yesterday's GCMP meeting series, which we hosted 3 critical meetings. So just to highlight some of the key outcomes from the meetings, for the Seashore Reserve Plan workshop, we work closely with the partner agencies to go over the approach moving forward in the development of this Guam Seashore Reserve Plan, covering vital missing pieces for managing development and public use within the Seashore Reserve. So expect more regular working sessions as we refine this framework. With Silver Jackets quarterly meeting, we continued our interagency coordination on flood risk management and disaster resilience. We're currently working with the Center for Watershed Protection to update the Guam Storm Drainage Manual. So we collected feedback from our partners and some considerations for addressing gaps within the current storm drainage manual. So the Center for Watershed Protection team will be visiting Guam in May to meet with some of the subject matter experts from the agencies as well as the private sector to further discuss the necessary updates. So be anticipating invitations from us to meet together with the CWP team on this. For the Watershed Planning Committee, we're prioritizing the implementation of the Manel Gayas Watershed Management Plan, which was finalized and adopted by the committee last year, 2025. So the plan identified 36 potential projects within the watershed, as well as potential funding sources and agency leads for implementation of these projects. So we're going to be working with the agencies to determine the status of these projects to see what's in progress and identify stalled actions. And so we'll be coordinating directly with the lead agencies to troubleshoot some potential hurdles and move these priority conservation projects forward. Lastly, just wanted to talk about the Guam 2050 Sustainability Plan, which we've extended the public comment period for the draft plan to ensure that all residents have ample opportunity to review the document and contribute to the island's long-term strategic vision. So BSP is extending the comment period by 45 days. This will make the new deadline to submit comments to April 25, 2026. So we encourage everyone to review the draft plan, which is available on our website, bsp.guam.gov, and provide comments and feedback through the official email address, which is provided on our website as well. That's all I have to report.
Okay, well, thank you, Christian. We'll try to make sure at least who we have in the south and our will be able to see if they're able to provide input on that. Good job yesterday, guys, on that coastal management workshop you guys had for the planning. It's a good show out, and I know on the different hand, I had to leave early. I had another meeting at CNAS, but you had a good showing, so good job. Okay, and that's Todd. I think Tossie, if I heard you earlier correctly, you're from EPA, yeah? I see Margaret as well up there, and I know she's typically or usually here with EPA. Or Margaret, are you?
Yeah, okay. On behalf of Tassie and myself, Tassie is fairly new to our section, and so she's our learning curve is pretty sharp for her, but I think she's very capable. So look forward to her participating in future meetings and doing this type of reporting for us. Let's see. just like to recognize really the Southern Water Conservation District. I was able to go on the NACD website last week or before, and I saw all the promotions for Guam, and I was just really ecstatic, and congratulations, great job on that, including the grant that you got for the Dandan Greenbelt area. That really works right into watershed restoration for the Inarahan area. So thank you for continuing our work with watershed restoration. Johnny had reached out to us regarding our participation in the Educators Summit, and we're still working, I sent the word out to our different sections, and still waiting to see if we're going to catch any fish to help represent Guam EPA with that. So we'll get back to Johnny hopefully soon, because I know that that's coming up in April. Okay. Again, like Christian said, we had the last meeting of the day was the Watershed Planning Committee. Appreciate the presence of the Soil and Water Conservation District to that meeting, as well as Jay Doranilla, who presented on NRCS and the program activities. I really learned a lot from that. From Guam EPA, we are focusing on continuing two projects. We're collecting and evaluating water quality data for freshwater bodies, which is rivers and streams, and also marine water bodies. We've gotten some feedback from our key stakeholders like the University of Guam. We're waiting for some data from the Department of Defense for some of the water bodies that are they manage on the installations. But waiting to evaluate all that data and then give feedback to US EPA on really how our water bodies are doing, and if there are any that are not meeting water quality standards, they'll be put on a list so that we can address any of the issues, like maybe sedimentation. We have some water bodies that are impaired because of PCBs. And so we'll take a look at that list. We have a list of 31 water bodies on the list at this point in time. We're trying to work to restore, and we'll report. You'll get a copy. Or actually, the 2020 and the 2022-2024 integrated report is available on the Guam EPA website. So if you want to take a look at that, please feel free to take a look and read. It's pretty comprehensive. It talks about some of the watershed, or all the watersheds, and some of the restoration work we're doing in there. So we're working on that. And then we're also taking a look. It's that time of the period where we need to take a look at Guam's water quality standards. Take a look and see what needs to be revised, if anything, and then propose revisions to those water quality standards for rivers and streams, for marine waters, wetlands, those water bodies, and also actually the groundwater is handled separately. But we're taking a look at those standards and seeing where we can improve the water quality standards to meet the designated uses for the island. Other than that, I think that's enough for now, and we'll look forward to you folks coming to the next Watershed Planning Committee. I think we were talking with Patrick to try and see how we could put it together with your August meeting, since everyone's going to be there, seeing how we can engage with our partners overall in August with you folks. Thanks a lot, and appreciate you inviting us as partners to your soil and water conservation meeting. Thanks.
Thank you too, Margaret. Yes, and we'll definitely be looking here from you for the August one. It's going to be a huge one. So we definitely got the staff working with Johnny, and we'll make sure we're well connected.
Sounds pretty exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Okay, I think there was another, the one that didn't reply, right? That was, I'm not there. Are they still on? Dave, we'll be able to look on. Is there anybody else that's online with us?
The only remaining person is Susanna, but
so we have to be trying to share what we covered there. Okay, well, that was it for all of our partner reports. And we can go ahead. I will go ahead and move on to announcements. And so our next bi-monthly partner meeting will be May 6th, 2026. And our stewardship week also is, again, I know Ari mentioned it, but just as a reminder, April 26th and May 3rd, 2026. So that's gonna be a big week for us.
And be on the lookout also for the proclamation signing. We'll send out invitations and we can join us for that as well.
Thank you, Director. Okay, and with that pretty much ends our meeting. Can I get a?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Okay, so, all right, without any objections, without any, meeting ends. So moved, our meeting end at 5:38. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
That was in my phone. That was.